Hey, you. Hey, you. Ever been to the monastery?
Maybe. Why?
Are they still taking on people? I wouldn't know where else to turn.
Where do you come from?
I used to be captain of a big whaler, my boy. The sea is my home. My ship, the good old Magdalena, was sunk by pirates a few months ago, and now I'm stranded here. All I ever wanted was to go back to sea. But since I've come here, not one schooner is called at this accursed port. The only ship which is anchored in Corinthus is that blasted war galley of the king, and they don't take on anyone. So what else can I do? There's no work for me in town. I've tried everything.
You'd better get off the road.
Don't worry. I've already noticed that the wilderness out here has become damn dangerous in the last couple of days.
I need to get into the monastery. It's urgent.
I can't let you into the monastery. I'll get in trouble with the High Council. Without the permission of my superiors, I can't let anyone into the monastery.
I've got a letter from Lord Hagen.
Show me. All right, here's the key to the monastery. Pyrocar is in the church.
How did you get to the monastery so fast?
What kind of a question is that? I crept through the pass and made my way straight to the monastery. Admittedly, it was never easy avoiding all the monsters making themselves at home on this side of the valley, but ultimately I encountered fewer problems than I expected.
Do you know where the others are?
Gorn seems to have coped with his stay in Garon's dungeon very well. In any case, he wanted to go to Lee and see what was happening on the farm. After the grub they serve in the dungeon, he's probably stuffing his face right now and putting the mercenaries' provisions to a real test. Diego mumbled something about a reckoning. No idea what he meant by that. But I suspect he's in the city. You know him, always there when there's something to be had.
Do you know anything about the hooded figures?
No, but I have a bad feeling about those guys. Be careful if you run into them.
Can't go on like this forever. The path of virtue is long.
I do not know why you were allowed to enter the monastery. I am Paladín, and I am responsible for our novices. I do not want you to keep them from their work with stupid questions.
Why haven't
Is
I heard
that
about
clear?
this before?
Sure.
That isn't true.
I certainly hope so.
Anything's possible.
Have you got anything else for me?
Get away with that.
Yes, as a member of the library, you are given the key to the library.
Before.
There you will find brothers Karas and
I've
Highgrass.
got no time for
If you
things
like,
that.
you can speak with them there. But leave my
You don't have to
novices
ask me
alone.
You don't have to tell me that.
Where can I find
I never would have thought.
the cellars?
The entrance to the cellars
The path of
lies
virtue
halfway
is
along the
long,
colonnade
rocky.
on the right.
I always act in the name of
The
innocence.
chapel.
The chapel is the room halfway along the
Path of
left
virtue is
colonnade.
long, rocky.
That's where the paladins pray to Innos.
That's totally obvious.
The library.
The
Been there,
library
done
is
that.
at the end of the colonnade to the left, directly across from the
Could've told me
church.
that before.
The church.
Lord
No time for
Almighty,
things like that.
has Innos stricken you blind?
You'd better watch
Where
out
is the
who you tell
church?
that to.
Oh my, where could it possibly be?
There's more, believe me.
So it says in the scriptures.
There's more, believe me.
some citizens of Corinus have mysteriously disappeared.
Take your tribute to Gorax at the monastery at once. He will handle it further.
The same is true for the investigation of the unusual earthquakes in the northeastern regions of Corinus. So far, I have not received notice that our intervention would be required. Therefore, we are not going to take any steps in this matter.
Yes, but...
No buts. We shall proceed as we see fit, and I hope even you are going to respect that.
I've come from the old Valley of Mines.
What do you have to report?
The enemy has formed up there with an army of orcs and dragons.
We have already learned that from Milton. But what about the king's shipment of ore?
The mine they are digging for Garand in the valley cannot satisfy the demands of the king.
The days are becoming grayer, and the light of the sun is ever weaker.
I was attacked by men in black robes.
I know. Those are the Seekers, henchmen from the nether realms of Beliar. Beware of them. They will try to take possession of you. Once possessed, you will no longer be yourself. Only here in the monastery could you find help then, so be careful. Here, this rune will bring you directly back to the monastery if you need our help. Remember, we must offer resistance or we shall all be doomed.
I have come to take the Eye of Innos.
I see that you have received an authorization from Lord Hagen himself to bear the Eye of Innos. I am afraid that I have to disappoint you. We have fallen victim to a treacherous plot of the enemy. The Eye of Innos has been violently taken from these sacred walls.
Who did this?
Evil is cunning, and usually works in secret. Only rarely do you see it emerge to pursue its evil machinations in broad daylight. But these days, it's a different matter. The enemy now shows himself openly in the street, in every home and every public square. This can only mean that he no longer fears any adversary and is not going to shrink back from anything. One of our most faithful followers, a candidate for the high robe of the Magicians of Fire, has changed his allegiance unexpectedly, and in an alarmingly evil manner. Pedro. The enemy has taken possession of him, thus inflicting a terrible defeat upon us. Pedro has forced his way into our most sacred halls and stolen the eye. I fear that he simply spent too much time by himself, outside of the gates, and thus beyond the protective walls of the monastery, exposed to all lurking dangers.
Where did the thief flee to?
Pedro knocked down some of the other novices who tried to stop him and disappeared into the morning mist. Many novices have gone after him to bring the eye back to its place unharmed. If you want to catch up with them, you need to hurry before Pedro disappears out of your reach.
What about a little blessing? I could surely use it.
May Innos stand between you and harm on all the unholy paths you will have to walk.
All over again.
That's just what I said.
What are you doing here?
I must not speak with you. It's not looked on with favor if we talk to strangers.
That doesn't sound terribly happy.
Well, I mean, everything is just fine, really. Only, I don't want to complain.
Oh, come on, you can tell me.
And you really won't tell the magicians?
Do I look like I would?
All right. I have a problem with one of the novices. He's got a hold over me.
Come on, spit it out then.
Igaraz, that's the novice, found some of my private papers. He threatened to give them to the magicians if I don't do what he says.
What kind of documents are those?
That's, nobody's business. It's entirely my affair.
Come on, tell me.
They are, entirely normal documents. Nothing special.
I won't ask any further. What are you supposed to do for him?
I don't want to talk about it. In any case, it isn't pleasing to Innos. I don't want to think what would happen if it came out.
Maybe I can help you.
You would do that?
Well, that depends, of course.
Naturally, I'd pay you for that.
How much?
Of course, I don't have much money, but I could give you a spell scroll. I have a healing spell.
I'll see what I can do.
Honestly, it just has to work. It has to. So, you only need to find out where Igaraz keeps the stuff. Then you swipe it from him, and everything will be just fine.
Relax. You just continue for now. I'll see to the rest. Are you satisfied with your task?
It's all right, but I need to get back to work. Otherwise, I'll never get finished today. I don't want to work half the night again in order to finish my obligation and stay out of trouble.
Only Innos decides what's right or wrong.
Hey, you!
What can I do for you?
We need to talk about Babo.
Yes? What's wrong?
You've got something which belongs to Babo.
What might that be?
A few papers. Babo would like them back.
He would, wouldn't he? I can imagine. Unfortunately, I prefer to keep them, which brings us to a bit of a dilemma.
Where have you got the papers?
Well, of course I don't have them on me. I'm afraid I can't help you further.
Where are they?
I have them safely locked up. You will never get the key from me.
What was Babo supposed to do for you?
If I had known the baby would do it in his pants over a few swamp weeds, then I would have seen to it that someone else took care of the monastery garden.
He's supposed to grow swamp weed?
Of course. Since none of that stuff comes out from behind the barrier anymore, the price in the city has tripled. It could have been a good bargain for everyone involved. But Babo didn't want to play along.
How much do you want for the papers?
Actually, they're almost priceless. You very rarely see something like that here. But I have no desire to wager my future against a few gold pieces. 300 gold pieces. You can do what you like with the papers.
I want to buy those papers.
Look, I can't leave here right now. I'll give you the key to my chest. There's nothing else in there anyway.
As if I don't have enough problems.
Should have known better.
You already know what I think.
Say that myself.
Why haven't I heard about this before?
You really should have known better.
Nobody ever asked.
No idea, you tell me.
Who told you that?
There's more, believe me.
Do you really think?
I used to say that myself.
You can't go on like this forever.
Same old thing all over again.
Nobody ever asks me.
Hey, you! I've got your documents.
Really? Oh, thanks. You've saved me. I don't know how to thank you.
Yeah, just calm down.
Are they really mine? Are you sure? Show me.
Here they are.
Yes, they're complete. Did you look at them?
Does that make a difference?
No, just as long as I have them back. Whew, Now I hope I can rest easy again.